Tensions rise globally following Israeli airstrikes that tragically claimed the lives of 7 aid workers from the World Central Kitchen charity. The strikes have sparked widespread condemnation and demands for accountability as Israel faces mounting scrutiny over its actions in the Gaza conflict. The World Central Kitchen confirmed that among the casualties were aid workers from Australia, Britain, Palestine, Poland, and the United States and Canada. Celebrity chef and founder Jose Andres says Israel targeted his aid workers systematically.
I'm being very obvious when we began seeing images of these bodies and these passports in the hospital that confirm these were our people. At the end is what we know, what everybody knows, that 7 team members between the specialty security people we have, 3 British individuals and 3 international crew plus 1 Palestinian, that they were targeted systematically, car by car. They were targeting us in the conflicting zone, in an area controlled by IDF. Them knowing that was our teams moving on that route with 2 armor, with 3 cars. And then they hit the 3rd one, and then we saw the consequences of that continuous targeting attack. 7 people dead, but there are 7 on top of a list of more than another 190 humanitarian workers that they've been killed over the last 6 months. If we were targeted this way, I need to understand that this was not vicious. I need to understand that this was not by somebody that is above law and order that decided just to kill us because, I don't know, maybe because I did a tweet that was very strong against President Netanyahu. I don't know. Obviously, that's why we need to have an investigation that is neutral and is above IDF. I believe will be good intentions on anybody, and they will tell the story whatever they want to say. But what I know is that we were targeted deliberately, non-stop, until everybody was dead in this convoy. That cannot be the role of an army. That cannot be the role of an army that has hundreds of drones above Gaza in any single moment.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, acknowledging the incident, promised an inquiry, calling it an unintentional strike resulting from misidentification during very complex conditions.
לצערנו ביממה האחרונה היה מקרה טרגי של פגיעה לא מכוונת של כוחותינו באנשים חפים מפשע ברצועת עזה. זה קורה במלחמה, אנחנו בודקים את זה עד תום, עומדים בקשר עם הממשלות ונעשה הכל כדי שהדבר הזה לא יישנה שוב.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese described the incident as completely unacceptable, expressing his country's outrage and demanding full accountability.
A phone call that was organised overnight. I expressed Australia's anger and concern at the death of Zomi Frankom. Zomi was an Australian aid worker working for the World Central Kitchen, providing support for people who are suffering from tremendous deprivation in Gaza. This is someone who is volunteering overseas to provide aid through this charity. This is completely unacceptable. The Israeli government has accepted responsibility for this, and Prime Minister Netanyahu conveyed his condolences to the family of Zomi Frankom and to Australia as a result of this tragedy.
Meanwhile, Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk condemned the attack, urging Israel to uphold its solidarity with its allies. US President Joe Biden joined the chorus of condemnation, demanding a swift and transparent investigation. However, the US, a major ally of Israel, has faced criticism for not conditioning its military assistance amid the ongoing conflict. Canada and the United Kingdom also condemned the attack, calling for a thorough investigation. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres labeled the strike unconscionable and stressed the urgent need for a humanitarian ceasefire and expanded aid access into Gaza.
196, including more than 175 members of our own UN staff. This is unconscionable, but it is an inevitable result of the way the war is being conducted. It demonstrates yet again the urgent need for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, the unconditional release of all hostages, and the expansion of humanitarian aid into Gaza, as the Security Council demanded in its resolution last week. The resolution must be implemented without delay. The concept of human security, with its emphasis on people and prevention, has an important role to play in strengthening links at the local, national, and regional levels and creating momentum to tackle our shared challenges. I commissioned my fourth report on human security to foster this dynamic and contribute to a safer, more prosperous, more secure world for all. This means prioritizing investments in early warning, social protection, and other measures to maximize social cohesion and protect the security of every individual. These ideas are closely linked with our call for a renewed social contract anchored in human rights and based on trust, justice, and inclusion. Human security approaches can highlight blind spots and gaps in our understanding of today's interconnected crises. They can provide a universal benchmark to assess the effectiveness of development, humanitarian, and peace-building efforts. And they can integrate the analysis of immediate risks with long-term perspectives, prioritizing resilience and capacity building to deal with future shocks. Human security has proven its value as a framework to focus on supporting people to live in dignity, free from want and fear. It can help accelerate progress towards Agenda 2030, prevent the emergence of future crises, and deliver the hope people need. I urge all countries to use the important tool of human security to address today's multi-layered crisis and to integrate its insight into our efforts to prepare for future challenges.
An investigation by Al Jazeera's Sanad verification agency suggests that the Israeli airstrikes on the aid convoy were intentional, contradicting Israeli claims of misidentification. This incident comes amid a dire humanitarian situation in Gaza, with reports of an imminent famine in the region. Despite calls for increased humanitarian aid, Israel has been accused of obstructing aid efforts, including blocking access to northern Gaza. The International Court of Justice recently ordered Israel to allow the flow of aid without delay, yet challenges persist. At least 32,916 people have been killed, mostly women and children, in the Israeli assault on Gaza since October 7, according to Palestinian authorities.